it was only last week that we sorted some of these bushes out, so God knows what the storm might do. These trees are very tall. There's the council coming along cutting the hedges. So it's about 1 p.m. the day after the storm, and it looks like we've had a load of trees down. It's my first time going to look at the damage, so I thought I'd just take you with me. So we've got this cable here, which is our lifeline at the moment because it's the internet. But yeah, you can see the electric cables are going across the road there. And I won't go near the cables, but that's the trees that are down there. Loads of them. Don't know about up this way. But yeah. There's some down up that way as well. And I know further on the neighbours said that there's trees down and they're blocked in from the other end as well. But yeah, it's been ripped right down. Wow. You don't want to go near that electric cable because it could be live from that end. But yeah, I don't know if you can see from here, but that tree snapped off right from the base. I've also got some overhanging branches on that polytunnel. This is the way into the back garden, but so the electric cable to the house, and the actual cable, electricity cable on that big pole up there snapped to the house. But yeah, literally. That's the garden, you can't even see it. So it's probably done quite a bit of damage to the beds and stuff like that. I mean, these trees are right across the old poor garden, but absolutely loads come down. And I think it's wrecked that green polytunnel. I can't even see the back of it, so it must have fallen on that polytunnel. Incredible, really, look at that. So the council came, I think it was on about day 5, and cleared this side of the road and put the lumber in the field, and there's so much of it, I just don't know how I'm going to get started on it. It's overwhelming, really. I'll show you. That is it all in the field. I mean, it'd be good firewood eventually, but when you look at it and there's such a vast amount of it, I think, God, where am I going to start here? But that tree was really thick. I'll show you it. When you think it snapped a tree like that straight in half, I find it hard to get my head around it. I reckon it must have been a sting jet or something that come along here. But yeah, they've cleared the road now, and but yeah, really they could do with coming down them trees. Even halfway would be good. God. But the clear up is going to be huge for us. Such a beautiful morning today. The thing is, it's like day 7 and we've still got no phone signal, and I know through the internet you can get like WhatsApp, which is a bit of a help, but there are a lot of people stranded, you know. I was in the shop the other day at the chemist, and there was an old lady in there, and on her own in the middle of nowhere, and she said that she had to sit in her car to put the radio on so she could hear what was going on. There's still people without water, and what was happening, people were going mad and buying all the water, and you couldn't get it anywhere. Same with those gas canisters, you know. So what we've learned is we weren't so prepared as we thought we would be. But we've learned from the storm what we actually really do need. So we went out and bought a double hob. It's cast iron, it is, and you can attach it to a butane gas bottle. So we've got one of those, so now we can boil the kettle on that and not worry about the gas. So yeah, those little camping stoves are not ideal, not the small gas canister ones. We've got a few power banks. We've got some of the small ones like this. We've got this EcoFlow, which out of all of them is the best. It's absolutely amazing because it only takes 50 minutes to charge it from 0 to full up on the generator, which again you've got to consider because you're putting petrol in the generator to run it. So we want to get another one of those, but of course now everybody wanted them. You can't get hold of it anywhere. I did pop out and get another power bank, which was an energizer, but again that is like this small Jackery. They both take, I reckon it'd take about 5 hours on the generator to recharge, so that's a good thing to bear in mind. Anybody that's thinking of getting one, get one that charges quick on a generator, and the EcoFlow seems to be the one. But we're going to have to charge them other ones because we need them, but it's ridiculous really. It probably costs you twice as much in fuel to try and get them charged up. So we're day 7 further into the storm. We've still got no electric. Luckily enough, our lifeline was the internet cable, which didn't snap, so we're so grateful for that because there'd be no communication otherwise. And during the outage, straight away you could see the problem with the fuel was that you weren't able to pay by card. It was all electronic, all the tills and everything. So it was hectic in the garages, and a lot of people couldn't get fuel because of it. But in the end, I think they did. We did eventually, but I had to go back to the garage the next day when their tills were up and working to pay for it. And yeah, but I've listened to so many stories and read so many stories. The hardships of people in the west of Ireland. In County Mayo was one of the worst counties hit, I think. We did have a visit from the electric man. He'd come to assess the damage, and he said to us then it could be another 5 days. So anyway, what we've been doing is wet wipes, filling, because we've got the new hob now, the butane gas, we're able to heat a lot of water and wash like that and wash our hair and stuff like that. So we were grateful that we invested in that. I mean, it did cost a bit really, but it's an investment going forward, isn't it? So if I was going to say what would make you okay to survive like over a week and a power cut, if you're not an off-grid person, but you live a normal electricity, and all the gadgets life, you'd have to invest, I reckon, in a good generator, one that you could start easily. You'd have to get a couple of USB lamps to keep your light on at night. We found them perfect for that. So we've got the big EcoFlow. We want to get another one of those, and I think that would keep us going, no problem, especially because it only takes 50 minutes to an hour to charge it back to full, and that actually lasts all day. And we've plugged, phones, laptops, the router for the internet, that's got 2 plugs, and that lasts all day the EcoFlow. We've only got the one that's got the 2 plugs in it, so you can get bigger ones, but it's carrying them if they're really big in it. So I think we're just going to get another one of those. So that would see us all right for electric, you know, to power most things really. But what I found really good was, you know, I talked before about amateur radio. I would like to get my licence because I would have been able to sort of get in touch with somebody then. But the little radios, this little one here, little red one, you can get online from a famous store for 22, I think it's £22 I bought it for. And we've been listening to the radio on it, and you can recharge it in the cradle on the USB. So that's been a godsend to us as well. And I think a good investment would be the heavy duty cooking, what do you call it, hob. You can get them in single or double, but we've got the double because I think, you know, if you were going to make a meal, you could make something like potatoes and that if you had 2 hobs. But yeah, definitely I think it's worth an investment to get one of those and a gas bottle and the regulator, so you know, if you ever are caught short, you're never going to go hungry. I mean, people have rallied in the community, have opened up little places where you can go and charge your phone, you can go and keep warm and all that, but it's not from the government, it's just the will of the local people, you know. They're resilient, and a community spirit is what's kept it all going. There are people from Austria and France over helping the ESB, but if you can imagine, it's not their fault, it's just unprecedented. It was such a huge storm, and it's brought down, you can imagine, loads and loads of cables, trees everywhere, and County Mayo even on its own is a big county. Galway is really badly affected, so you can't really blame them. They're doing their best. It's just tough when you've got to wait. It'd be like a luxury when it all comes back, won't it? There's lots of elderly people I feel sorry for, you know, they're cold, they're heating hot water bottles, or they're going into other people's houses to keep warm. There's not a lot of communication. I think perhaps they need to overhaul the whole sort of green thing, because if everything was on electric, how would you cope really? You know, your car, if you had an electric car now, what happens to that? It looks like we could be in for a good, probably, I'd say about another week like this. But at least we can, you know, cook something that goes in a pan anyway. I wish I had a toasting fork for a bit of toast on the fire. See if I can pick one of them up today. What we'll probably do today is probably go out for a meal. So a lot of the towns have got electric, although not all. So we can get a hot meal and I can make a sandwich or something later on. So we're doing all right. We're trying to keep the spirits up. That's the way forward, isn't it, really? Make light out of something dark. I went round the back and saw all them trees on my polytunnel though. I do want another polytunnel, that's the thing, so I'll have to save up for that. I'd love to have, I used to like going in there, you know, chopping me firewood, and it was like a little woman cave in there. I know you can buy the bars, can't you? I'll have to wait until the electric people have come and sorted all the cables and that. And then I'll be able to see exactly what it's done to it. I can see it's in half, but I can't remember what I had in there. I don't think there was anything really important that would have got damaged. But when I do look at that, I'm thinking, am I even going to be able to grow this season in them beds unless I get all that cleared in time? But look on the bright side. There's something to be said for community, because there is a good community in rural Ireland and people do look out for each other. You know, but I do think maybe they should have sort of sent the army in or something like that to check on people that lived, you know, very rural on their own, and there might even be some consequences from people being on their own, cold, you know, with nothing. But hopefully, you know, they're okay. The note with the garden, I think, like I say, once the electric people have been, and I can start. I'm sure there's a few people that give me a hand to clear a lot of that, and then I can start thinking about planting for this year. I don't usually start until the middle of February. Then I'll be sowing the Roma tomatoes in the polytunnel, in the other one. Lucky enough, that was perfect. There's nothing damaged on that. So I'll be starting them off and going through my seeds to see, you know, potentially what we can grow this year. I hope you all didn't have too much damage. It was brutal, I must admit. Yeah, don't know what to say. I'm just gobsmacked by it all. So just an update, if you live in rural in Ireland or anywhere that gets a lot of power cuts, I think definitely get an EcoFlow, and if you can afford to, or save up and get to eventually, get 2 EcoFlows. That will keep you in power indoors for everything. Get one of those cookers that runs on the butane gas. Possibly the two ringed one is great, and the generator, and then you're sorted really. I keep running the freezer on it every now and again, but the fridge food and the freezer food indoors has all got to go in the bin, so I'll have to sort that out and get rid of that. But yeah, some essentials there. Like I say, if you do buy other makes, I don't know about all the makes, but the Energizer make takes too long to charge up, so does the Jackery. So definitely EcoFlow is the way to go. Anyway folks, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you. If there's anybody new watching and you'd like to subscribe, we'd love to have you here. Please give it a thumbs up and comment if you don't mind, because in YouTube algorithm it lets them know that people are enjoying the channel, and we'd really like it to grow. Thank you so much again. Take care everyone. Lots of love. Bye.